At 3:14 p.m., the mansion felt strangely quiet, too quiet. A little boy stood alone in the hallway, holding a broken toy tightly against his chest. Downstairs, his father was angry. Upstairs, the nanny was being blamed for something she didn't do. They called her careless. They said she had failed him. But the truth behind that moment was about to change everything. Clara arrived every morning before the house woke up. She moved softly through the halls, preparing breakfast, organizing backpacks, and checking on the children before school. She wasn't loud, she wasn't dramatic, but the children trusted her, especially little Ethan. Ethan didn't speak much. He observed the world quietly, holding his favorite blue toy wherever he went. Clara noticed things others missed: the way he flinched at loud voices, the way he became silent when adults argued, the way he only relaxed when someone spoke gently. She never pushed him. She simply stayed near, giving him calm when the world felt too heavy. Ethan's father, Alexander, was a successful businessman, confident, controlled, always busy. He provided everything money could buy: the best house, the best school, the best tutors. But he didn't always notice the small emotional moments. He believed discipline solved everything. That afternoon, Clara stepped out of Ethan's room for less than a minute. When she returned, she heard crying. Ethan stood near the doorway, shaking. His blue toy lay broken on the floor. Before Clara could react, Alexander entered the room. "What happened?" he demanded. Clara looked at Ethan, then back at him. "I'm not sure, sir. I just came back." Alexander's face hardened. "You left him alone?" His voice echoed through the room. Ethan cried harder. Clara knelt beside the boy, trying to calm him. But Alexander pulled Ethan gently away. "That's enough," he said sharply. He turned to her. "You're fired." The words landed like a heavy weight. Clara stood slowly. "I would never hurt him," she said quietly. But Alexander had already made his decision. That evening, Clara packed her small bag. Before leaving, she went back to Ethan's room one last time. The boy sat silently on the bed. She placed the broken toy beside him. Then she left something else: a small envelope. She kissed his forehead softly. "Be brave, okay?" Ethan held her sleeve tightly for a moment, then let go. Later that night, Alexander entered his son's room. He noticed the envelope. Inside was a document from a child specialist. Ethan had been diagnosed with severe anxiety triggered by loud conflict. The broken toy hadn't happened because Clara was careless. It had broken earlier, when Alexander had slammed a door during a work call. Ethan had panicked. Clara had spent the afternoon calming him. Alexander felt his chest tighten. He replayed the day in his mind, his own voice, his own anger. He realized he hadn't seen what was right in front of him. He checked the house security footage. On the screen, he saw Clara kneeling beside Ethan, speaking softly, protecting him when he cried. She wasn't neglecting him. She was shielding him. Alexander leaned back in his chair, suddenly feeling very small inside his own house. The next morning, Alexander found Clara at a bus stop. She stood alone, a small suitcase beside her. The city moved around them, but the moment felt still. "I was wrong," he said quietly. Clara looked at him carefully. "You were protecting your son," she replied. He shook his head. "No, you were." Silence settled between them. Ethan stepped out from behind his father, holding the repaired toy. He walked toward Clara slowly. "Don't go," he whispered. Clara's eyes filled with tears. Alexander exhaled slowly. For the first time, he looked tired, not powerful. "I thought money could fix everything," he said quietly. "I thought giving him comfort was enough." His voice softened, but I never learned how to listen. Clara stayed silent. The city noise faded behind them as the sun painted the sky in warm colors. Alexander looked at Ethan, watching the boy stand closer to her than to him. "You understand him?" he said, in ways I never stopped long enough to see. Clara's eyes filled with tears. "I never wanted to replace anyone," she whispered. "I just didn't want him to feel alone." Alexander nodded slowly, and for the first time, there was no distance in his voice. "I don't want you to stay because he needs you," he said. He paused, choosing his words carefully. "I want you to stay because maybe we both do." Silence. Ethan stepped forward and slipped his small hand into Clara's. She looked down, then back at Alexander. This time she didn't pull away. The boy smiled softly, and in that quiet moment, Alexander finally understood something he had missed for years. Sometimes, the strongest people are the ones who love quietly, until someone finally sees them. If you want more emotional and cinematic stories like this, consider subscribing to Midnight Tales. New stories are coming soon. Some stories only happen at midnight,